Good day, everyone. We are the Group T, and we are excited to talk to you about a topic that is often overlooked in our busy lives: our spiritual self. So we all have a spiritual self, whether we are aware of it or not. It is the part of us that connects us to something greater than ourselves. Some may call it the universe, some call it nature or a higher power, but whatever it might be, our spiritual self plays an important role in shaping on who we are and how we navigate through our lives. So this is the Model 8 spiritual self. Next, please. Today, here are our reporters. First, we have Mr. Balderrama, Jzie. Second, we have Ms. Rachel Tactaquin. And lastly, yours truly, Esteban, Kimberly Rose. Next, please. So here is our presentation overview. We have the practice of religion, belief in supernatural being and power. Second, we have the anetism, animism, and battleism. Third, we have the concept of dungan and ginhawa, spirit or soul. Next, we have the rituals, ceremonies, religion, magic, and witchcraft. And lastly, we have the three ways to find meaning in life. Next, please. The practice of religion, belief in supernatural being and power. The supernatural or above natural includes all that cannot be explained by the laws of nature, including things characteristics of or relating to ghosts, gods, or other types of spirits and other non-material beings or other things beyond nature. Religiousness was measured by the frequency of prayer, frequency of discussing religious teachings, frequency of deciding moral actions for religious reasons, and the overall importance of religion in everyday life. Next, please. So first we have the anetism and animism. Anetism is the belief that spirits exist in natural objects. Animism is the belief that there is power in all forces around us. So first, let's talk about the anetism. Anetism is a belief that spirits exist in natural objects. This belief is present in many indigenous cultures around the world. These spirits could be in animals, plants, rivers, mountains, and even inanimate objects like rocks and stones. This idea is tied that all living things have consciousness and are therefore deserving of respect and care. It is because of this belief that many indigenous cultures have such a strong connection to their environment and have a deep understanding of how their actions can impact the natural world. One of the key concepts of anetism is the idea of balance and harmony. In this belief, everything in the natural world is interconnected and must be in balance in order for the world to function properly. If one element or spirit is out of balance, it can have a domino effect on the entire ecosystem. This is why indigenous cultures have such a deep respect for nature and work to maintain balance and harmony with environment. Another important aspect of atheism is the concept of reverence for ancestors. This is why there is a strong connection between the living and the dead in atheism. Ancestors are often seen as protectors and are honored through rituals and ceremonies. It is important to understand that atheism is not just a belief system, but it is a way of life. It is deeply intertwined with culture, traditions, and daily practices. It is a way of living harmony with nature, recognizing sacredness of all things. While atheism may seem like a foreign concept to some of us, it is important to remember that it is a belief system that has been present in many cultures for centuries. It teaches us to value and respect our environment, to live in harmony with others, and to understand that in core connectedness with the universe. Materialism often takes center stage. The concept of atheism can serve as a reminder of the importance of a spiritual connection with the natural world. It can help it can help us to slow down and appreciate the beauty and complexity of our surroundings and to realize that we are all part of something much larger than ourselves. In conclusion, Anatheism is a belief system that sees all living things are interconnected and equal. It teaches us to respect and care for nature, to live in harmony with others, and to honor our ancestors. It is a spiritual self that reminds us of the sacredness of all things and our role in maintaining balance and harmony in the world. Next, we have the animism. Animism is a belief that there is power in all forces around us. This concept can be found in many cultures and religions around the world. It suggests that everything around has its own energy, and that energy can have an impact to us. These forces can be both positive and negative, but think about it. Have you ever walked into a room and immediately felt a sense of calm or uneasiness? That's because the energy in the room, whether it's from the people or the environment, is affecting you on a spiritual level. We are all interconnected and our energies can influence each other. Our spiritual self is like a mirror, reflecting the energy around us. When we are surrounded by positive energy, we feel happier, more at peace, and more connected to our spiritual self. On the other hand, negative energy can make us feel drained, anxious, and feel disconnected from ourselves. Now, let's talk about how we can nurture our spiritual self and create a positive energy flow in our lives. I think the first step is to be mindful and aware of our thoughts and actions. Our thoughts are powerful and then can shape our reality. We must practice positive thinking and consciously let go of negative thoughts. We can also take time to connect with nature, whether it's through a walk in the park or simply sitting outside and observing our surroundings. Nature has a healing energy that can help us feel grounded and connected to ourselves. Another way to nurture our spiritual self is through meditation and prayer. These practices help us quiet our minds and connect with our inner self. It allows us to let go of the chaos around us and tap into a higher level of consciousness. Additionally, incorporating daily rituals into our routine, such as lighting a candle, burning incense, or practicing gratitude, can also help cultivate positive energy and strengthen our spiritual self. It is important to understand that our spiritual self is just as important as our physical and mental well being. Neglecting it can lead to feeling lost, disconnected, and unfulfilled. By acknowledging and nurturing it, it can help us achieve a sense of balance and inner peace. In conclusion, animatism teaches us that everything around us has energy, and energy can affect us on a spiritual level. Our spiritual self is an integral part of who we are, and by nurturing it, we can create a positive energy flow in our lives. So let's remember to be mindful, connect with nature, and practice rituals that nourish our spiritual self. So next reporter we have Mr. Balderrama Jzie. Thank you.
Catholicism is a modern name for the indigenous Philippine folk religion practiced by various ethnic groups. The main form of this religion is derived from animism principles with some minor beliefs and ideas changed. The indigenous tribes profess in a high god followed by a lesser god and the various elements of nature, guardian spirits, and tribal heroes. Let's talk about the concept of Bathala first. According to the indigenous tribes, Bathala is the creator of the universe and all living things. He is also believed to be the source of all elements of nature, the sun, water, plants, and animals, even the rocks. Bathala is the considered the ultimate source of power, and it is believed that all things emanate from him. The word Bathala came from two words, Bat and Ala. Bat means immersion of the flesh into the Holy Spirit, or baptism means spirit. Allah derived from the Arabic word Allah, which is God. Also, Bathala refers to the most gracious and most merciful Almighty, Father the God Most High, and it is the Filipino term Filipino term adopted in the Philippines for the supreme being, kings of kings and lords of lords, and creator of heaven and earth, and the ultimate savior of human beings. Bathala in the Philippines had started since from the very beginning of the existence of human habitat in the country. Originally, the Filipino used to pray the different anitos and deities. Several groups of indigenous people in the country had worshipped Bathala or their Bathala counterpart. Some of these counterparts were Lumawig, Apolaki, and many more. With respect to the Filipino culture, the other natives worship the Anitos. Up to the present, majority of the Filipino tradition, faith and culture worship Bathala as the fountain of life and way of everlasting happiness, the source of all creature, most powerful and redeemer of humanity. Now you might be curious about the practices and the rituals of Bathalism. One of the most important ceremonies in Bathalism is the pamahiin or the ritual of offering. During the ceremony, the community comes together to offer gifts and prayers to Bathala and the Anitos. Um, they also perform various rituals to ask for guidance, protection, and blessing for their deities. Although Bathala is the supreme god, there are also lesser gods in Bathalism. These gods are known as Anitos. They are believed to be anthropomorphic representations of different elements of nature. For example, there is a god of the sea, a god of the mountains, the god of the forest, just to name a few. These gods are seen as Bathala's helpers in maintaining balance and harmony in the world. Aside from gods, Bathalism also believes in the existence of astral spirits or guardian spirits. These are the spirits of their ancestors who have passed on but continue to guide and protect their descendants. The indigenous tribes believes that these spirits have the power to intervene in their lives and provide with blessing and protections. Now let's talk about the benefits of incorporating Bathalism in our spiritual self-care practices. By embracing Bathalism, we learn to see ourselves as a part of the larger universe and understand the power of our thoughts and actions. This helps us cultivate deeper sense of purpose and mindfulness in our daily lives. Moreover, the rituals and ceremonies in Bathalism promote a sense of community and connection with others, which can bring a sense of belonging and inner peace. Finally, let's talk about how Bathalism connects to our spiritual self. Bathalism teaches us the importance of keeping balance and harmony of our lives. By acknowledging the power of Bathala and the Anitos, we are reminded to have reverence for nature and all living things. This concept of interconnectedness or interconnectedness is also reflected in our spiritual self. Our connection to something greater than ourselves and the importance of maintaining balance is our inner being. Now let's go to the text part of the report. Next slide, please. The concept of Dunggan Ginhawa, soul or spirit. From the point of view of Babaylan, inside the body of a living person dwell the Dunggan, a companion that coexists. This Dunggan gives life, animation, and sensibilities to a person. It can temporarily leave the body at will during sleep. It is dangerous for Dunggan to leave the body when the person is awake. The body would be like or become like a robot that runs out of battery. There is another spirit that resides a person, the same person we call it Ginhawa or breath of life. Ginhawa cannot sustain life without Dunggan. And if Dunggan that does not return uh, is called or is known as Kalag or the separation of Dunggan in the body. The Babaylan can help Kalag in patulod. A patulod is a rite where a Babaylan would usher the soul to proceed to the world of the dead so that the soul will no longer come back and disturb the living as murot or ghost. A babaylan, who, especially in Pukaw, to awake, right, could be done if the family wants to awake the soul. Now let's talk about the concept of ginhawa. On the other hand, focuses on the breath of life, the essence of one's being. It is believed to be the source of one's vitality and strength, both physically and spiritually. In Filipino culture, there are certain practices and rituals that are done to maintain balanced ginhawa, such as taking care of one's physical health and practicing gratitude and mindfulness and connection with nature. Also, when Dungan, while Dungan also refers to willpower, knowledge, and intelligence, and even the ability to influence others, it is believed that the spirit or soul is present at birth, has chosen the body where it will reside. It then undergoes the process of adaptation and making sure that the practice that is perfectly knowledgeable of the world. It also ensures that it is comfortable and fixed firmly in the host body. Otherwise, it may be led by other spirits to depart or even held captive. If this happens, the host will get sick or even die. If somebody gets a sudden surprise, Dungan jumps out of the body. When Dungan returns, the host regains self-control. It also can leave the body when one is asleep, like what I said earlier, um, thus allowing oneself to see itself in a dream. Dungan has to make sure that it will be able to return to the body, that it is safe whenever it travels. Also, Dungan was a life force, an energy as well as a thrill entity, a spirit with a will of its own that resides in the human body and provides the essence of life. It is believed whatever happens to Dungan happens to the physical body as well. It also believed that the other reason for the voluntary withdrawal of the soul is it is maltreated. Also, besides belief that the soul or Dungan is not located in any specific part of the body, it is believed to grow proportionately with the person body. In conclusion, Dungan and Ginhawa are both vital components of Filipino spiritual and belief system. They represent the physical and spiritual aspects of the person and the balance that needs to be maintained for a harmonious and healthy existence. As we continue to learn and understand more about our culture and traditions, let us appreciate and honor the concept of Dungan and Ginhawa as integral parts of who we are as an individual and as a community. That's all. Let me call on Miss Tactaquin to continue the report. Thank you.
Hi, good day everyone. I'm Rachel Tactaquin and I am now taking over the floor and discuss the rest of the presentation. So starting off with these 5 words that is actually a part of an activity wherein its meaning are asked to be searched on. So our group had decided to discuss these words as a part of our presentation considering that it is also a necessary part for our topic. So for each word, I'll also tackle how will this affect our spiritual self, just so we can understand the value of it as an individual. So first, as we can see on the screen, which is ritual, it is defined as a series of actions or behaviors performed in a specific order, and it has a symbolic meaning. They are often associated with religious or cultural beliefs and are considered as an integral part of societies. So, again, when we say ritual, it has a series of actions being done in a chronological order. So, one example that I can share for this ritual is the ritualistic animal sacrifices being done by the indigenous mountain people of northern Luzon. It is the festival called Kanyao or Kanyao. You can look at the picture in the PowerPoint just so you can see. So for this festival, a social religious ritual are being done wherein chickens, pigs, or carabaos are butchered as a sacrifice and feasted on. So this is usually a thanksgiving to their god, and the name of their god is Kabunyan. So now, how does this ritual affect the spiritual self of an individual? So this will help in shaping an individual's spiritual self by connecting them to their cultural and religious beliefs. So these rituals have repetitive nature and symbolic actions. Then we will be able to foster a sense of community, connection to a higher power, and a sense of identity. This can also give us a sense of comfort, meaning, and purpose in life, which can contribute to their, to our rather, to our overall well-being and spirituality. And lastly, this will give us meditation and self-reflection for individuals, in which will allow us to defend our spiritual connections and understanding of ourselves. Second is ceremonies. So these are defined as a formal or traditional rituals performed in a specific manner to celebrate and ignite a weekend event or occasion. So these events can range from religious, cultural, social, or even personal milestones, and it is often involved a specific set of actions and symbolisms. So ceremonies have been a part of human culture since ancient times, especially to us Filipinos, and um, as today, we are still these ceremonies are still being practiced. So these ceremonies hold a great importance in bringing communities together, showcasing traditions, and honoring beliefs and values. Okay, so one example that I got in here is the one that you can see on the picture. So this is a popular ceremony being done during a traditional wedding. This is where the bride and the groom will perform a traditional dance called Pandango sa Ilaw. So in the picture, you can see that they are holding candles, in which symbolizes that the couple will live together in the light of faith and love. So now, how does it affect the spiritual self of an individual? So just like the first one, this is crucial in shaping an individual's spiritual self, since they are often deeply rooted in religious or cultural beliefs, and participating in them provide a sense of belonging and a connection to watch community and fit along with the ceremonies, which offers a sense of continuity and provide a way to pass down traditions and values from generation to generation, strengthening an individual spiritual identity. And lastly, since these ceremonies involves rituals and symbolism, then this will evoke strong emotions and feelings, in which is the gratitude, reverence, and spiritual fulfillment. Okay, so third word is religion. So this is defined as a set of beliefs and practices shared by a community or group of people. So it is often seen as a means of understanding and relating to a higher power or ultimately reality. So this religion also involves rituals, customs, and moral codes that shows how individuals live their lives. Okay, so considering that Philippines is full of people who are religious, there are a lot of religions that we can mention as an example. So according to the 2020 census, here are the top religions here in the Philippines. There are Christian, Catholic, Philippine Independent Church, Iglesia ni Cristo, Jehovah's Witnesses, Seventh Day Adventist Church, Apostolic Catholic Church, United Church of Christ, in the Philippines, Members Church of God International or MCGI, and lastly on the list is the Pentecostals. So, to answer the question again, how does religion affect our spiritual self? This will provide a moral framework for individuals who live their lives according to the teachings of their faith, in which may include the following. One of the best to include in here is the Ten Commandments, the way they practice virtue, such as humility and compassion, and also striving for a spiritual growth. So these beliefs and values contribute to the development of a person's spiritual self and guide their actions and decisions in life. Moreover, our religion provides comfort and support during challenging times for individuals in the Philippines. This is as per the study, and I have put the reference link at the end of the presentation. So, in times of hardship, such as natural disasters or personal struggles, our religion offers a sense of hope, strength, and resilience, and the belief in a higher power and an afterlife also provides a sense of purpose and meaning in life for many Filipinos. So, in conclusion, our religion has a significant impact on the spiritual self of individuals in the Philippines. So, it shapes the values, beliefs, behaviors, and also providing us guidance and support throughout our lives. Next word is magic. So it is defined as a practice of using supernatural or mystical powers to influence events or control people through the use of spells, rituals, and illusions. So it has been a part of human culture since ancient times, and it is widely practiced in many cultures today. So, one example that I got in here is Gayuma, which translates to love potion in English. So, in our culture, Gayuma is often associated with the belief in the power of magic, to attract or entice someone to fall in love with the person using the potion. So, Gayuma may also refer to acts or charms used to seduce or manipulate someone into strong romantic feeling, or even sexual attraction. In our modern times, like today, Gayuma has also come to encompass other methods or practices used to attract love or improve one's romantic relationships. However, there is no scientific evidence to support the effectiveness of Gayuma or love potions, and it is also important to respect the autonomy and consent of others in matters of love and relationships. So, again, how does it affect the spiritual self of an individual? The practice of magic in the Philippines, here in the Philippines, this heavily relies on the beliefs in the spiritual realm and the unseen forces that govern it. So, therefore, it deeply affects the spiritual self of an individual by strengthening their faith and connection to the spiritual world. And moreover, people who seek the help of healers or shamans for magic often have a strong beliefs in its powers and trust in the abilities of these individuals. So again, this belief and trust that that they have to these healers, this can bring a sense of peace, comfort, and hope to an individual, and especially in times of need or uncertainty. And lastly, the use of magic in healing and spiritual rituals can also bring about a sense of spiritual cleansing and enlightenment for an individual. So this will allow them to tap into their inner spiritual strength and connect with their higher self. So ultimately leading to personal growth and transformation. Lastly is witchcraft. So um it is the practice of using supernatural or magical powers for various purposes, such as healing, divination, or causing harm. So it is often associated with the belief in witches and their ability to harness these powers. So I have two examples for witchcraft. First is barang. It is a form of folk magic and sorcery practiced here in the Philippines, and it is believed to harness the power of ancestral spirits and deities to bring about desired outcomes or to cause harm to others. So the use of barang is often associated with superstition and the belief in supernatural forces. However, it is also deeply rooted in cultural traditions and is often passed down through generations. So, some practitioners of barang use spiritual objects such as talismans or amulets as tools in their rituals. So, others rely on oral incantations and prayers to manipulate energies and spirits. So again, this barang is often feared and seen as taboo in Philippine society, and it is associated with causing harm to others. And there are also people who use it for healing and protection purposes. So the practice of barang is generally frowned upon and even criminalized due to its potential for misuse. My second example here is kulam. Kulam is a term in Filipino folklore that refers to a type of black magic or curse. So it is believed to be cast upon someone by a person who has the ability to harness supernatural powers. So the purpose of kulam is usually to inflict harm and suffering upon the victim, sometimes even resulting in death. So it is performed using a combination of rituals, spells, and ingredients such as herbs, animal parts, and personal belongings of the victim. So kulam is considered as a form of witchcraft, and it is often associated with jealousy, revenge, or the desire for power and control. So it is believed to have a deep spiritual and cultural significance in Filipino society, and it is still widely feared and believed in today. Some victims of kulam often seek the help of traditional healers or spiritual leaders to counter the effects of the curse. So now that I have discussed the five words, let's proceed with the three ways to find meaning to life. First is through our actions. Okay, there. So the meaning of life is a concept that has been pondered upon by philosophers and ordinary individuals alike. So while some believe that the purpose of life is determined by a higher power, others believe that it is up to us to create our own meaning. So one way to find meaning is through our actions, how we choose to live our lives, and the actions that we take greatly impact our sense of purpose and fulfillment. So, in this presentation, we will discuss three ways to find meaning through our actions. I have found three steps in order to find meaning. The first one, as you can see on the screen, is by serving others. Many Filipinos find meaning in life by dedicating themselves to helping others in need. So this could be through volunteering at charitable organizations, participating in outreach programs, or even simply lending a hand to a friend or a family member. So, serving others not only brings a sense of fulfillment and purpose, but it also promotes empathy and compassion towards others. Secondly, is pursuing passion and purpose. So, this could be through career choices, hobbies, or personal goals. So, this is evident to many Filipinos since many of us found their purpose in their chosen career paths or have turned their passions into means of helping others. And lastly, making a positive impact. Um, so with our actions, no matter how small or big it is, it have a significant impact on others and the world and our peers around us. So making a positive impact is not only fulfilling, but also gives meaning to our life. So this can be seen in some Filipinos through the countless acts of kindness and heroism during times of crisis. Okay, so for the second part, we can find meaning to life through our connections. So human beings are social creatures, and our connections with others can greatly impact our sense of purpose and fulfillment in life. So building and nurturing meaningful connections can be a powerful way to find meaning and purpose in life. So, here in our country, a family and community are highly valued and play a significant role in the lives of each individuals. Especially that Filipinos often find purpose and meaning in their life through their connections with family, friends, and the other wider community. How does it affect the spiritual self of an individual? In this case, connecting with others can affect or can have a profound impact on one's spiritual self, especially that it allows for a better and deeper understanding of oneself and the world around us. Last way to find meaning in life is through our suffering. Suffering is an inevitable part of our life, and it can often leave us feeling lost and without purpose. However, many find that the hardships and struggles they face can actually bring newfound meaning and purpose to their lives. So, again, I have three ways in which suffering can lead us to a better and deeper understanding of our purpose and meaning in life. First is a catalyst for spiritual reflection and growth. One best example that I can give is here in the Philippines, especially the strong presence of Catholicism has been a source of comfort for many individuals facing hardships. So some Filipinos rely through prayer and reflection, and that's where they find the strength and meaning that they need whenever they are in times of suffering. And their spiritual beliefs help and guide them towards finding purpose and meaning in life. Second is building empathy and compassion. The best example that I can give is that since Filipinos, every time in the aftermath of a natural disasters, many individuals and organizations come together to provide aid and support to affected communities. So this does not only help those who are in need, but this also foster a sense of purpose and meaning in life for those who are able to give back and make a positive impact in the life of others. And lastly is finding meaning in overcoming challenges. Example that I can give is that many Filipinos who have faced poverty have been able to use their experiences to drive them towards success and make a positive impact in their communities. So their determination and resilience in the face of hardship have helped them find purpose and meaning in life through their achievements and contributions to society. So here are some of the references that we added. This is aside from the PowerPoint given by our professor. So this ends our presentation. Hope that you listened and understood everything on this lecture. Thank you for listening and have a good day ahead.